Welcome to the nest. Today, I've got some errands out in the Berkshires. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to see how many different places I could fish within just a few hours. Now, I could lose a few fingers and still count on one hand how many times I've caught a fish on the first cast, so I don't expect to catch anything today. The first stop on today's trek will take us all the way to the end of the Mass State Turnpike. Hop on Route 41, head south, and immediately you'll find Card Pond. Great place to canoe, swim at your own risk. However, you have to keep your dogs out of the water. There's a nice playground in the far back. You can take the path that I'm on to get to it. Well, that was stop number one. Card Pond in West Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Our next stop is Laurel Lake. You can gain access to the boat ramp on Route 20. To the north is Lenox, to the south is Lee. The boat ramp is right in between, and it's a fun place to fish. It does fill up rather quickly with boats and trailers, but if you can get a spot along this wooden fence, it drops off pretty quickly in depth. You do have to be cautious on the big flat stones that line the shoreline. They tend to be slippery. We head due west for our next stop, the Stockbridge Bowl, just down the road from Tanglewood. Route 183 will take you to the Stockbridge Bowl boat ramp. I parked my truck right where that truck is. And we're off to Richmond Pond in Richmond, Massachusetts, southwest of the Pittsfield Municipal Airport. On the west coast is the Richmond Pond boat ramp. I'll be fishing from what you see here in the lower right corner. It's real shallow here. If I was ever to try this again, I would probably take my waders out. I'd be able to gain another 20, 30 yards out into the water. Richmond Pond. This blue squiggly mess is the Housatonic River. This area where it swells up is called Woods Pond. It's in Lennoxdale, Massachusetts, due west of October Mountain State Forest. It does turn into a green, mushy mess by fall, but early on in the spring, it's crystal clear, and there's a nice dock that you can easily launch canoes and kayaks from. You'd think that little footbridge was a great spot to fish, but it doesn't really work out that way. The railing's a bit high up on your chest in height, and then below your feet, there's still another 8 feet before you get to the water. Goose Pond, a fantastic location for a canoe or kayak, extremely difficult to fish from shore. Goose Pond straddles Lee and Tyringham, and in order to stay 50 feet from the boat ramp, I disappear around the side. Not a lot of room to fish, but it certainly qualifies for this stop. Greenwater Pond is straddled by the Mass State Turnpike and Route 20. However, you can only gain access to the pond from Route 20. On the southeast corner is the boat ramp, but it's extremely shallow. It's very difficult to put a boat in. Another situation where you'd probably want to bring waiters. Anybody want a Vegemite sandwich? That's today's catch. Heads up, striper fans. The water's warming up. A huge 53-pound striper was just caught off the New Jersey coast, and the water temperature's there in the mid-40s. We should be out on the Connecticut River soon.